Things are picking up on the earnings side, and you know what that means. There's some hot stocks coming, but isn't everything hot right now? But I've picked out 5 of the most important stock charts to watch this week. These are in different, for the most part, different industries, but these are the ones I think are going to be market movers. And we're going to find out a lot about what's going on in the economy with these stocks. So what are they? Let's dive right in. So the first one out of the gate has to be Tesla. And this one is on everybody's radar. We had the robotaxi event, and now we're going to get the earnings. You can see it has missed 4 quarters in a row. Investors have never cared about the beat or the miss. I don't think Elon Musk does either. So this is another stock that's a lot like how Amazon used to be. Nobody cared about, the actual beat or miss. But interesting to note that they have now missed 4 in a row. And prior to that, they did have a very good earnings surprise track record, as you can see, with just this one miss in 2021. But that was then when the cars that they rolled out were newer. Now we're waiting on announcements about a new, cheaper vehicle and, other things that might be going on at Tesla. So earnings expect to be down this year, about 28%. Stock still isn't cheap on a PE basis, but again, nobody cares about any of those fundamentals. A lot is going to be riding on whether or not a new model is coming. So stay tuned for that with Tesla. Then we're going to switch over to the tech side. And this is one of my favorite stocks that I have talked about many times on this video because ServiceNow, ticker NOW, has a perfect earnings surprise track record. And I'm always kind of a little surprised when I see a chart like this because not many companies kept it together during the pandemic. So a lot of the old perfection earnings all-stars kind of had a downward spiral during the pandemic and are starting over again on the 5-year, basis, but not ServiceNow. Perfect chart, 5 years of beats. That is very impressive. Of course, the shares are back to new all-time highs. They seemingly are every time I talk about it here on this video. They're still not cheap, trading at about 67 times. I want to say it was like 80 times the last time we covered it last quarter. So maybe it's gotten a little more attractive, but this still is not a cheap stock. The street has never cared. Can they keep doing it? This is one to watch. Then we're going to switch over to infrastructure. Suddenly, this area is hot. This is another stock breaking out to new all-time highs. United Rentals, ticker URI. In the past, when I've talked about it, it's always been kind of boring. I didn't think any of you cared. And mostly, most people weren't watching it when it reported earnings. But this week, I think it's going to be different because, again, look at this chart, busting out to new all-time highs, trading around 18 times. And they put together this nice earnings surprise streak of 5 in a row. So they've got that going for them. Now, remember, United Rentals is the equipment rental company. They're the largest, and they're involved in all the things going on with infrastructure. And sadly, I'm sure they're involved in what's going on with the hurricane recovery. So this is going to be an interesting one. Can it keep going from here? So far it has. So let's see, but I'm going to be watching it. United Rentals, ticker URI. Then we are going to switch over to some retailers. Yes, it's early in the earnings season. We usually get them at the end. But there are a few sneaky ones that are at the beginning, including this one, Tractor Supply, ticker TSCO. It too is busting back out to another high. We had a bit of a lull there in 2022, even 2023, when the Fed started raising rates. We saw this move sideways, and a lot of us thought, hey, maybe this rally in the stock is over. But no, here in 2024, busting out once again, even with the earnings miss last quarter, which was just barely, it wasn't even a 1%. Is that a penny? It's probably just a penny miss. But If you tuned into this one last quarter, you will recall that they still saw a pretty strong consumer last quarter. So that's what's pushed these shares even higher. This one is not cheap either, 29 times. 29 times now. How high can it go? Well, if the consumer is back to spending into this holiday season, maybe a lot higher, we will see. But retailers, especially these big prominent ones, are keys this earnings quarter. And Tractor Supply, I'm definitely tuning in. And then we're going to wrap it up with another retailer, but really apparel, shoes. That's what Deckers does. Deckers Outdoor, ticker DECK. Don't let the name fool you. They are UGG and now Hoka. So they've got two of the biggest and best brands in shoes. Look at this earnings surprise chart, just the one miss there in 2021. And if you've been around a while, you would remember that that was when there was excess inventories and a lot of retailers got kind of caught with it going into that holiday season because the shipping was messed up coming from Asia and it was just starting to try to normalize. So a lot of markdowns were taken and they had to write the inventory ship, so to speak. And now they have, and you can see what's going on with the shares busting out. They pulled back a little bit, so not quite at the all-time highs like some of these others, but Deckers, one of the premier shoe companies, and we're going into the holiday season. What are they seeing? They might already be seeing some, demand coming for holiday. Last year at this time, they did pull forward and started their promotions for fall a little bit earlier. It did work well for them. Did they do that again this quarter? What have they seen so far? This one's going to be interesting. It's not cheap either, trading at 30 times, but it's been trading around 30 times for a while now. So compared to some of these others, it's not super expensive at the 30 times, but this is another one I'm going to be watching this week. So there you have it, the 5 most important earnings charts you should watch. There's a couple hundred companies reporting, so there's a lot to take in. And then next week, we're going to get the Mag 7, but really just the Mag 5 is going to start reporting because this week, we're getting Tesla, the first of the Mag 7s, and then we're going to have to wait a while to get NVIDIA because they're always at the end. But meanwhile, things are going to pick up. So be sure to subscribe because I'm going to have a video for you about the rest of the Mag 7. That's still the report. And every week during earnings season, I'm going to be bringing you lots of these earnings charts. So be sure to get us on YouTube. Go to Zacks.com/YouTube to get our YouTube channel. And also follow me on Twitter because I'll be tweeting out these charts and more all throughout earnings season. But be sure to get us somewhere, and I'll see you again next time with some more earnings charts.